It's Monday the 9th of December in the Vendée Globe, the skipper's 29th day at sea, and the race at the front is very much back on. Charlie Dalin, who had built up a huge lead as they approached the longitude of Cape Leeuwin, the southwestern tip of Australia, has been caught by quite a bit. Sébastien Simon, who is behind him and has lost his starboard foil after that broke on Sunday, is actually catching Dalin. And then behind him, Yoann Richomme, who was well over 500 nautical miles behind, is now just 378 nautical miles behind. This is all due to a low pressure system which is bringing the chasing boat in behind Dalin, who is in lighter winds. They, at the front, Dalin is having to jibe quite a few times, whereas the chasing boats are taking it all on one jibe in stronger breezes. This is hugely important because there is a developing low pressure system south of Tasmania, and if the leaders can all hook into that, then that will power them along towards the longitude of New Zealand. But if they miss this, then the leaders could streak away. We're going to see how this plays out. The Initiatives Kerr website of Sam Davies really shows the situation very well indeed. Out in the front we can see Charlie Dalin, but just behind him now is Seb Simon, and on the charge we can see Yoann Richomme and also Thomas Rouillon in that stronger pressure where we see the reds. If we move the weather picture forward 18 hours, we can see how the breeze is now beyond that little ridge on the ice gate. And if they can all hook into that, it's in 36 hours. We see that low pressure system. There it is, just south of Tasmania. And if all four of those can get into those strong winds, then it could be massive gains for that chasing pack. The 0600 UTC ranking shows there Charlie Dalin in the lead, but right now his instantaneous speed is only 11.39 knots. We're going to assume this is only the lighter winds causing this, but does he have an issue on board? The 24-hour speed is 16.75 knots, whereas look at that, Yoann Richomme, his 24-hour average 21.86 knots. A little bit further down in the rankings we can see there Sam Goodchild in 7th place, and also Sam Davies, who we'll hear from later, in 12th, who's just ahead of Clarice Kramer, who has reported a foil ram issue on her boat, which is impacting performance a bit, but she's managed to stabilise the situation. Pip Hare there is in 16th, and we will put a link to the full rankings on the text of this video. The Predict Wind routing, which Richard Gladwell, sailworld.com's New Zealand editor, has compiled for Yoann Richomme this time, we can see how he is able to traverse the length of Australia using these stronger breezes, and there is a little ridge of light winds which he may be able to bypass and Charlie Dalin may not be able to. This could allow Yoann to catch up, and then there is still strong breeze from this depression as they head into the Pacific and past the longitude of the South Island of New Zealand. It's going to be a fascinating week to see what actually happens on the racecourse, as this is a very dynamic weather situation. Sam Davies gives us this update from Initiatives Kerr.
I'm good, all is well. It's freezing here tonight, 6 degrees Celsius inside the cockpit. The water's 5 degrees. Just approaching the plateau at the north of the Cape Leeuwin Islands, still ahead of the slow and sending it nicely with my little group of friends. We just got that one depression, which is the same one the leaders got, but a little bit before them, so it was a little less intense for us. And all went well. For sure, these boats are really powerful, so you have to find the right settings. But I was lucky enough to have the experience from the ocean race, the leg I did with Geotherm in the Southern Ocean, a little bit about managing these kind of boats in these Southern Ocean conditions, which are really different from anywhere else in the Atlantic. For sure, there's different settings with foils, and I've got a pretty good small fractional sail, which seems like a decent sail to have. It's small, but it's not too small, so I just don't get the throw out anymore, and so I don't really have to worry about which sail to choose. I just put that one up, and it does everything. Then I guess it's all about anticipation. Obviously, these boats are powerful, and I prefer to be slightly underpowered a little bit of the time, rather than being caught short and being caught out.
Elsewhere, Louis Burton, the skipper of Bureau Vallée, has safely arrived in Cape Town. It's a sad end for his race after the rigging damage he sustained in the Indian Ocean, particularly after the repair he undertook in the Atlantic when he heard the cracking noise and managed to repair the deck damage and the structural problems that he had. Thank you very much for watching this update. We will continue to bring you all the latest news from the Vendée Globe on this channel. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe using this button down here. Also, take a look at sailworld.com and yachtsandyachting.com, where we bring you all the latest news from this race and many others from around the world in sailing.